The audio podcast version of the Disturbed Penguin podcast is made possible by Xavier Penguin's free time while at work. Visit disturbed-penguin.net to get an insight to the life of Xavier Penguin, as well as links to his various social sites he is a part of.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Disturbed Penguin podcast. As always, this is Xavier Penguin. Let me rearrange myself sitting in a chair, move my phone a bit. Yeah, welcome to another episode. Sorry it's been a little bit. I've been releasing videos and stuff and really haven't had that much to say or really talk about. It's like I do want to have something to talk about anytime I do one of my little shitty podcasts. I have been streaming a bit more. If you haven't noticed, twitch.tv/Xavier Penguin. I've been streaming a little bit more on Mondays, and for some reason, people just love watching me play Oregon Trail and include my chat with that's currently in chat as party members. So for some reason, people just absolutely love that. I've no idea why. But I'm glad they do, and I'm glad people like to watch. Anyway, not much has been going on with me. And before I even continue, this might be an emotional episode. Kind of like episode number 15. When I talked about some feelings and bullies and things like that. This episode might get a little emotional because today is a very shitty day. Very shitty. As of about 9:44 this morning on Wednesday, December 21st, 2016, the owner and creator of where I work at had passed away today. And then about an hour, 45 minutes after that, or maybe a little less, hour and a half maybe, my uncle, on my mom's side, he passed away today. And I just feel that I need to talk. Okay, what was that? 1 second. Oh, yeah. Alright, it's my friend trying to cheer me up. Yeah, so I just felt like I need to talk, get something out, and I'll be saying this probably to a lot of friends and family and all of that. Earlier this year, the one thing I didn't get a chance to say, I don't think I did, is my grandma passed away earlier this year. It's like been a year of death. It fucking sucks. My grandma passing away, that hit me hard. And everything, and pretty devastated by that. I'm a bit devastated about my uncle. Though I never really got a chance to go see my uncle. My uncle's been pretty cool. Ever since I was growing up until now. He's always been that one cool cat. That cool daddy-o, that kind of thing. And that's the easygoing kind of attitude that he had. And I didn't really get a chance to see him after I had moved up here to St. Louis from southeast Missouri. All right, sorry about that. Had a customer came in. But no, my uncle didn't really get a chance to see him much after I came up here in 2001. Life just got busy as all hell, and I didn't get a chance to go over to Indiana where he lived at to go visit my aunt and uncle. But I did get to see him at least a couple of times for some family stuff, Christmas and stuff, but never really had the ability to go all the way to Indiana and then all the way back. And yeah, it was, hindsight's always 20/20. Should have been able to go and, at some point, but I never did. But I do remember my uncle. Very fun-loving guy, very easygoing. Loved deer hunting. Loved family. Would do anything for his family too. This would be my mom's brother-in-law. Basically, still my uncle because, of course, married to my mom's sister, my aunt. Very easygoing, just loved to have fun. And I caught wind that earlier this year, he wasn't doing so. Like maybe the last couple years, it's been a bit, that he hadn't been doing too well. I think, and I'm probably completely wrong on this, but I think he had some lung issues. So yeah, as far as I remember, he had some lung issues and tried to get that resolved by, I believe, doing some chemo, and apparently it was working and he was getting a little better, but then something happened and it got worse again, and all of that. So yeah, he started to go downhill, my uncle did, and as of a few days ago, he was basically being put on hospice care, because at that point there wasn't much else that could have been done or could have happened to fix what was going on. And what was it, last night, was it last night or a couple nights ago? I did get a text from my mom letting me know that they're just giving him pain meds to help with the pain, and my brother had sent me a text saying that he's on a morphine drip every 10 minutes, and that's barely covering the pain that he's in. So I can only imagine the kind of pain that my uncle was going through in regards to what was happening, especially if morphine itself wasn't, just helping out or barely helping out. And then, like I said at the beginning of this this little shitty podcast, that he passed away at 11:30 this morning, 12:30 Eastern, UTC -5, or -6 if you're counting Central. one of those dates. So yeah, the thing is, this is going to sound so very fucking insensitive. It really is, and I highly doubt that any of my family watches not only any of my videos or reads any blogs I tend to do or anything like that. And if they do, if you do, I apologize. I don't even know how else to apologize. But I had kind of fallen out from visiting family again because, working, going to college, life in general just getting busy as shit and all of that. I am saddened by my uncle passing. I am. And I think if I was around my family, I would be crying. I would. I'm a man. I can say I can cry. Which I might be doing here in a little while anyway. But I am saddened. I am. I'm going to miss my uncle. For all the reasons I've stated. He was a very fun-loving guy, loved fishing. He got me my first turtle. Yeah, he got me my first turtle. And a lot of the memories I have are from whenever I was younger. And growing up, sometimes you don't remember things because information gets pushed so far in your brain pan, and then some of it has to leak out to make room for other stuff. So I don't remember, unfortunately, all that much of my uncle, because we didn't get to see them all the time. We would go up and visit and whatnot. So I am saddened about the loss of my uncle. I know my aunt is probably in hysterics. Their adopted son, my cousin, is probably in hysterics. More than likely my mom as well. Even though I'm saddened, I don't think I don't think I'll be crying or lamenting heavily without family around. Again, because one, I hadn't kept in touch and things like that. But if I was around family, I probably would cry because, well, hey, it's in the moment. Might as well shed Niagara Falls from your face, that kind of thing. But yeah, my uncle, he was a good man. Some would say he was a good Christian man. Helped out when he could. Loved the sport of the hunt, whether it's fishing or deer hunting. I think he did boar a couple of times. Can't remember. Loved my aunt wholeheartedly. Loved family. Loved us kids. Loved us kids. My brother and I, and any of his other relatives that he got to see. I am gonna miss my uncle. My Uncle Chuck. His name was Charles, but I've always, and Chuck is apparently a shortened form of Charles. But I've always known him as Chuck. I've never called him Charles or Chaz, Chas. Never called him that, just always Uncle Chuck. I am going to miss hearing his voice. Hearing him talk about what's going on at the prison. Because I can't remember exactly what he did over at the correctional facility or prison over near Indianapolis, Indiana. He did something. I can't remember. But he would always come back and tell us stories. So I am going to miss him. I gotta take a vape. Otherwise, I'm just gonna bawl my eyes out. Thus leads me to the other reason why it's a shitty day. My boss here at my work had passed away today at about 9:44 in the morning. Now that one I might tear up on and cry and everything else while I'm recording. My boss's name is Harry Kohler. Turned 70 this year. He was a good man. From my understanding, from what I've looked into, and if anyone out in the community listens to this, which I doubt it, I'm a small fry. I'm doing this again for fun and to get shit off my chest, just to vent a little bit. And I'll more than likely be telling other people this as well, so it's not like, ooh, Xavier, why are you telling a bunch of strangers? How come you're not talking to your own friends and family? Well, what if I just want to fucking talk? Harry, from my understanding, from what I've looked into, was the first brick and mortar store here in St. Louis to sell electronic cigarettes. Now, yes, he did start from his house over in Afton off of Arvin Place, where you had to call and make an appointment for 30 minutes at a time. If you wanted to get juice, if you wanted to get equipment, if you wanted to get taught on how to be successful, then it got to a point where he started getting too big for that. So he and his wife, Donna, she's still living. She's the co-owner of our business, where they bought a new house and converted the garage into an actual storefront, where we didn't have a sign, couldn't. We were in a residential area still. But the garage no longer looked like a garage. It looked like a store. You would walk in, you would have a table, some chairs, and the lab and everything where the juice was made. All of that converted in a garage. Pretty big garage, too. He had done that. It got too big at that point where you almost had to play Tetris to get a parking spot. And then we bought the new building where we're at, where it's an actual building. Got that fixed up. And that's basically it. But from my understanding, he was the first brick and mortar store, again, starting from his house, here in St. Louis to offer e-cigs. And in the beginning, he, from my understanding, and again, these are the stories that I've been told by my boss's wife, as well as his other friends and family, that Harry, his skin color was probably about the color of a very light, ashy gray, because he had smoked for frickin' ever. He had smoked 3 packs a day for 45 years, and if it got to a point where he was having an extra rough or shitty day, he could go up to 4, maybe 5, depending. The only time he wasn't smoking was when he was sleeping. He had told me at one point that he used to smoke while he was having dinner. I don't even understand that. He had told me that he wouldn't take a job growing up, either in the military or wherever, or after military, that he wouldn't take a job that didn't allow him to smoke. That's how dedicated of a smoker he was. Well, one night, his wife, Donna, had seen an infomercial on TV about e-cigs. And she told Harry about it. And Harry was like, well, let's give it a shot. So he got the mail order e-cig. He goes, well, that's not a bad idea. I don't feel like I want to smoke a cigarette, but there's got to be a better way to run this kind of stuff. So he found a way, got with some distributors, and got himself set up with his own little kit that he made himself. Well, on various nights, he and his wife would go and play poker with other friends. And it had been about almost a month, and his friends were like, hey, you still doing that electronic cigarette thing? He's like, yeah. Is it working for you? Haven't had a cigarette in a month, so I assume so. You think you can hook me up with one of those? Yeah. And that's how his business began. His friends started asking him about it, and their friends talked to their friends to talk to their friends, and then it eventually became a business. He started out wanting to help himself, and then he started to help out his friends. Well, when friends of friends of friends of friends start talking about it, saying how it's helping, then yeah, it starts to change your thought process on wanting to help other people. Even when we got to be as big as we were, and again, we're not the biggest store with electronic cigarettes. I want to say we have probably the most loyal customers, in my opinion. But that's my own elitist asshole kind of opinion. But he had wanted to help other people out. He wanted to do something good. He had told me a while back that he wanted to see if he could make a difference in people's lives. And he did. Definitely made a difference in mine. Now, granted, I didn't smoke much. I've been on electronic cigarettes myself for 5 years. No tobacco whatsoever. Maybe the occasional puff of a cigar, but it was like, take one puff, oh, yeah, no, I'm good, and give it to the next person to have them wolf down the cigar. But I had only been on this for 5 years, so that would make it 2011. 2011 was when I stopped tobacco in August of something. I want to say between August 12th through the 22nd. So there's a date in there, I can't remember. But I know I stopped in August. But prior to that, let's see, I would have been, I'm 33 now, minus 5, I would have been 28. So for about 5 years, from 23 to 28, I smoked cigarettes. Now, I only smoked about a half a pack a day. It started out maybe 3 cigarettes a day, but then shit started getting real in terms of stress with the job I was at, and I was doing about half a pack a day. Get me to go out to a bar or with friends that smoked as well. Thank you, heater, for turning on, making other background noise. I could easily smoke a pack, almost a pack and a half. The cigarettes I had were tasty. I still think they would be tasty if I wanted to try one. Bad thing is, I know as soon as I would try one, I would want to have another and another because I like the way my cigarettes tasted. I know that's probably a very disgusting thing to talk about, but I was one of those smokers. I loved my smoking. I loved the act of it, the feel of it, the taste of it, the all-around social aspect of it. Absolutely loved it. Until my pilot found Harry. And a month after my pilot started, I started. He started in July. I started in August. And if it wasn't for my pilot, I probably wouldn't have even found Harry. I got sat down. I already knew what was going on, but I went through the whole newbie speech where he sat me down for about 30 minutes and explained everything. Facts and information about tobacco, how to be successful with it, and how to run my equipment. And that's what we still try to do today. I mean, yes, we've got some bigger equipment. Yes, the equipment we have now is much newer, easier to do, but we still have customers that use some of the older technology, and we're going to continue to support them as best as we can. We still sit people down for about 20 to 30 minutes and talk with them and explain to them, hey, this is what you're getting into. This is the facts and information about tobacco. Here is how you run your equipment, and here is how you can be successful. I won't go into all those details because, again, it'd be a 30 to 45 minute longer podcast, more so than what it needs to be. Harry helped out a lot of people, and on one Wednesday night, 4 years ago, his wife had to come down from the office to help out with customers because it got pretty busy, and I needed some juice. So I went up, got my juice, and I was talking to Donna. I'm like, hey, Donna, just throwing it out there. If you guys need any help, holler. I'll be more than happy to quit my current job and come work for y'all. She goes, well, we'll see. We'll see. Little did I know, Harry was already thinking about hiring me. Why? Because I would go there on Saturdays and sit on this goofy-ass wooden couch from the 70s, sit on it, and just bullshit with Harry. Just sit, bullshit, watch customers come in, watch him work, learn the newbie speech, and everything, and just overall throw my 2 cents in as, hey, I've been doing this for a while, yes, this works, kind of thing. Well, he called me up the next day and was like, so, I hear you want to work for me. I'm like, yeah. Well, why do you think that I want you working for me? And I explained basically what I just said. He goes, well, when can you start? I can start Monday. He goes, all right, see you Monday. It was a Friday that he called me back on. No, Thursday he called me back on. So Friday I quit the job that I was at, and that was the job that was stressing me out. That was the job that got me to smoking more cigarettes. It bullshit. I'm not going to go into what job I had before, because I think I may have. I don't know if it's been here or if it's been in a recording of sorts. I don't know. But I'm like, nope, I'm done. So I went up on Friday. I go, well, boss, I'll see you on Monday. He goes, what? I go, well, I quit my job on today. I'm done. So I'll be coming in on Monday. He goes, all right, see you then. But then he also looked at me and goes, and the whole put your fist in the air, like, yes, that kind of thing. Excuse me. I apologize. This air in St. Louis is really dry right now. But yeah, little did I know that Harry was going to be, hiring me. And I just kind of jumped the gun. So I did get to start with him, get to work with him. I was the second employee, his first being his daughter-in-law, Yvonne. Um, she's the one that does all the mixing of all of our bottles and things like that. Our chemist, so to speak. Or she likes to be called the alchemist. Um, but yeah, he hired me on, and we started to get bigger and bigger, and started hiring some more people, and I taught them, and the same way that Harry taught me. And after a bit, it got to a point where Harry wasn't able to concentrate. It was some new meds that he was taking, some new medication he was taking, getting him fuzzy in the head. So at that point, I was doing what he would do. Because previously, I wasn't doing that. I was just trying to field customers as they came in. Hey, you need something? I'll take care of you. If you're a new person, go see Harry. And that went on for a good long while until we got to our new store where we're currently at. And Harry was at the desk where I'm currently at. The newbie desk is what we call it. I haven't shown a picture of my work, but at our work, the main area where customers can be at is pretty large. It's pretty good. But we've got 3 different sections. We have the newbie desk, where it's, me right there now, previously Harry, that we would sit down and teach new people on how to be successful, how to get started with e-cigs and everything else. Sorry about that. We've got 3 stations. We've got the newbie desk, like I was stating before a customer came in, saying that I sit you down, teach you, give you the information, almost the same way that Harry gave me, but just updated it for the times, and depending on the equipment as well. We have another desk called the help desk for anything else, samples, support, questions, and then the express bar, kind of like a drive-through. You come in, get your stuff, no samples, no questions, no support. You know exactly what you want. You're in and you're out. Man, I tell you what, it's been pretty busy today. But like I was saying, we have the express bar, to where you just come in, get your stuff, and then you leave. No questions, no samples, no support. You know exactly what you want, and you're out. Harry was such a kind-hearted old man, and I can call him that because that's the kind of relationship we had. He actually made that position for my fiance, so that way she could work, because he saw something in her that that I saw as well, but I guess he saw something more and wanted her to come out of her shell a little bit. And my fiance has social anxiety. I want to say almost worse than one of the people that I follow and that I help admin for, more so than Kurt, to where she doesn't mind being in a social situation if she has liquid courage. Adult beverages or alcohol, same thing. If she didn't have that, she wouldn't be social or out and about. If she's with friends, she's a little bit better, but no, she doesn't deal with people well, because people are unpredictable. Regardless, Harry thought the world of her and created that position exclusively for my fiance. That goes to show you how much of a kind person excuse me, that Harry was. But yeah, he was a very kind man, and the relationship that we had between him and I was a very weird one. Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those days where it's going to be a very busy day, so I'll try to wrap this up without any more interruptions. But yeah, Harry was a very compassionate man, but he was an ornery motherfucker too. Again, I can say that because that's the kind of relationship that I had with Harry. Um, he would tell stories of when he was in the Navy. Um, he would tell stories of, when he was growing up, and things like that. And those were always interesting to hear. Now, there were times where situations would come up and he would tell the same story, but I would just let him speak. Because one, it was really interesting to hear him talk, hear his outlook on life and things of that nature. But we would tell some of the nastiest jokes. I like jokes, period. Okay, I mean, I don't care who you are, what you believe in, or anything. A joke is a joke. All right? Like I've been saying, I'm an equal opportunity hater. That's what I label myself as. I hate everyone and hate everything. In all actuality, no, I don't. I just like a good joke. I don't care who it makes fun of. If it makes fun of me, if it makes fun of my friends, if it makes fun of a nationality or whatever. It's funny. It's a joke. Anyway, the relationship that he and I had was based on jokes and general camaraderie, so to speak. I swear, I'm going to get through this podcast. But, yeah, we have this very weird relationship where he would insult me and I would insult him and we would laugh about it. I'm just pulling up my sleeves on my coat. On my Farlands or Bust hoodie. Yeah. Anyway, we would have this relationship where he would insult me and I would insult him and we would joke about it. And, every morning he would say, morning to everyone else, but would tell me to fuck off, bitch. That was his greeting to me every day. All right, that was spur of the moment. I gotta make that down 38 minutes into the whole thing when a customer comes walking in, and yeah. So, and we would be snarky toward each other, and it was all out of fun, That's what I liked about Harry. If I had any problem or any kind of issue, I could always come to him and talk to him, and had a very open door policy, and he treated me like one of his own kids. Now, granted, he felt like I wouldn't say fatherly figure, but more of as stupid as this sounds, a grandfatherly figure. One that has traveled around and has all this worldly experience to bestow knowledge upon his grandchildren. And we think of Harry and his wife, Donna, as family. And would do anything in the world. Yes, this is a small, business, more of a, mom and pop kind of business. Where some mom and pop businesses, you're there to work, get a paycheck, and go home. It's not like that here. It's do what we can for each other, help out, and at the end of the day, they feel like family. Like all of my coworkers that I work with feel like family. Like if they needed something, I'd be right there helping them out. Harry and Donna more so, because it seemed like that you were compelled to do so. And that's not necessarily a bad thing either. It's that's just how it is. But Harry was a very wonderful man, knew a lot about ham radio, got me and my friend interested in it. I was the first one to get my ham license. No, I'm not saying what my ham radio license is. You'll find out what my real name is. So no. Just know that I have a general license. Not general. I want to get my general license. What is it called? Alright, hold up. Gotta grab my wallet. Because I've got my call thing. My paperwork. Oh, no, that's my insurance. Technician license. Yeah, that's what it is. I knew it started with a T. I just couldn't think of the name. So I do have my technician's license because of him. He helped, squeaky wallet. He helped give me information, and if I had any questions regarding ham radio or antenna theory or electrical component ideas or whatever, I could always go to him. And that kind of sucks now. Because now I don't have that ability anymore. I don't have that ability to talk to him about ham radio or listen to his goofy ass stories about the Navy and things like that, or when he used to own his own job back in Hawaii at the junkyard. I won't get to see him every day. I won't get to cut up with him. I won't get to hear his lewd remarks or perverted remarks about my woman, about my fiance, anytime that she said, "Hi, Harry." I won't get to see or interact with that, or I won't get to tell him weird, off the wall, heavily politically incorrect jokes. I won't get to just talk with him one-on-one about life in general. And it sucks, because he was a friend, he was a boss, he was a mentor. At the end of the day, say if I did something excessively stupid at work, it wouldn't affect the friendship, because he knew how to separate the two. And I won't get to have that anymore. And it really, really fucking sucks. I'm gonna miss that old man. I'm gonna miss yapping at him and just seeing him. And now as I talk about it a little bit more and just a little bit more time to just think, I'm starting to get all teary-eyed and stuff, voice crackling and everything else. Yeah, I don't know what else to really say. I mean, he has been nothing but good for me and my fiance, and for the e-cig industry itself. Like I said, he wanted to make an impact on people's lives and do some good for the world that seems to be full of bad. And I think he did. He brought people together, got them off of a harmful substance, provided a way to keep an addiction without the harmful effects of tobacco. He's done a lot of good, and he has saved a lot of lives. I know he's basically saved my pilot's dad's life. My pilot's dad, he basically had like a month to live. And this is going from what my pilot has said. That he basically had a month and a half to live. he got on the e-cigs, and he's been doing this for about 2 or 3 years now. So, I mean, Harry taught me about e-cigs. We both have kept up in the business on what is going on out there. Now, we may not sell some of the same stuff that other stores have, but we knew about them so we could still help people out. And not only that, some of our customers that used to go to Harry for e-cigs and stuff broke away, which is fine, and started their own business. There's a business down in Imperial, Missouri, that he was a former customer of us with Harry. And he started his own business because of Harry. Now, Harry didn't help him out, but Harry helped that individual get off from tobacco and see the other side of the equation, if you will. But I'm going to miss him. I'm going to miss my uncle. And I don't know how I'm going to react whenever said funeral or visitation hits. That information hasn't been put out yet. I don't know what else to say, really. At this point, I'd just be rambling on and telling stories, and as stupid as it sounds, I kind of just want to shut up. Yeah, this day almost feels unreal in regards to what has gone on and everything. I don't know, man. I think part of this podcast was really just me letting off some steam, letting me vent a little bit. No one's really going to listen to this, and that's fine. I don't care. I don't care at all. I like doing this kind of shit, But I wanted to get something out there to just tell my uncle that I love him. And I hope that when you do get to heaven, that you have the biggest deer that you have ever shot, the biggest fish you ever caught, and the best damn deer meat you've ever had. And of course, to my boss, hopefully you have an e-cigarette out there that you'll be able to vape, and hopefully the airwaves are clear whenever you get out there for him. Anyways, I'd like to thank you all for watching and listening. My name's Xavior Penguin, and I'll catch y'all on the flip side.